All right.
Hi, Mariah.
Hi, Jillian.
Last week we met towards the end of the week, and this is the beginning of the week. So I wanted to check in to see what happened from last week to this day.
Yeah. Uh, and last week from this day, I feel like I think it was
Actually, it's
pretty.
a week. I think we've had a week.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
this week? I think it has been a week. Yeah. I think it's been. It's. I mean, it's been good. I had some social time with family and friends, which was kind of like planned, like kind of days prior, and not like a week or something. But I think it still worked out for the time that I like made for myself in terms of like school and like social time, some me time, but that I counted like some me time with like also social time because it was just like times where I wasn't doing any like homework, so I was like, oh well, I guess this will count. Yeah, it's like I had a I joined a family barbecue because my some family from Vegas, they're planning to move here, and like it's like my cousin, so and like my cousin like and her boyfriend, and they kind of found like a place in like uh more north of Seattle. Well, I guess it's still Seattle area, but like a Northgate area. So I guess they're kind of far from us, like moving away, but they'll still be like closer than they were when they were in Vegas. So yeah, and then like me and my sister hung out with a friend of ours that we haven't seen a few months, and we just wanted to like catch up. And we played some Mario Party, so that was fun. It was so fun. Yeah. And with like school stuff, I was like this week I felt really like motivated and determined to like get things done like earlier in the week or at least like in the middle of the week because like the week before when it was like midterms kind of I was just like working a lot and I felt like I was doing like work after work, so that felt exhausting. So I wanted to like give myself time just to like make myself time so I can actually relax. And so I think I thought this week went pretty well.
Is it when we talked last week about the giving you were going to do like 30 minutes each day?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah. So I always like told myself like when it was like late in the night and I felt like I couldn't like really think straight anymore. Kind of like before like I'm going to bed, like an hour before I'm going to bed, I stop myself and I'm like, okay, I don't think I can do work effectively anymore. So I'm just going to stop and continue tomorrow. And like that's what I did. And I think that helped me because I was like, well, if I can't think, then I don't think I should do anything.
When I heard you say like your family time and social time, you're like, yeah, that's kind of me time. So when you think
Yeah.
of me time, like when I think of me time, I think of just me time, like no one else around me time.
Hmm.
I guess me time could be different for everyone, right? So me time could
Yeah.
be me with other people.
Yeah.
So maybe I saw it differently for you last week with like when
Hmm.
you're like, I'm gonna carve out some time for me.
Yeah. I think I feel like when I think of me time, I just think of like I kind of just think of time where I find that it's fun for me or like relaxing for me. Like either one of those would count. Because I just think like, well, if I'm not doing some sort of work and it's like I'm having fun or I'm relaxing, I consider that me time. But I understand where you would think like if it's just me time, it's just like introvert time, which sometimes I do, and like that's what I need sometimes. but I guess this week, like, I mean, I considered like having family time, like with me time as a thing, just because like the opportunity was there. And I thought, like, well, I can just combine it together or something. And I think that would count, is what I thought.
Yeah, because you were saying it's just finding time to enjoy. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly.
so for this week coming up, do you want to keep that goal or do you want to maybe explore something else that you'd like to work on?
Um, hmm, I think, I mean, we could explore something else, but like, I mean, it just seems like I'm keeping up with this goal pretty well and consistently that I think like if I could work on something else about myself, like that would be helpful too. Um,
Well, it sounded like we started with like time management, and then
yeah.
I heard you say this week that you got super motivated and you were able to get
Mhm.
things done, and then you were able to find time for me. So you're really reaching these goals that you've set out for yourself. So it's not like we have to bring another goal into it. But if there was anything else that you maybe something that is you want to change or something some kind of stress that you're like, oh, I actually don't need that in my life anymore, I didn't
Mhm.
realize it that I'm having it, maybe I want to get rid of it, or just some kind of thing that's bothering you that
Yeah.
you can change.
Hmm.
um
I mean, I feel like there is like some sort of other thing that I could think of that I've always wanted to like do, but I haven't really like consistently do it for myself. And it involves like movement. So like I often think like because flexibility is my worst like um thing in terms of like physical movement. Like even though my arms and my legs are pretty short, you would think as a short person I can reach them, but my muscles don't think so. So I've tried to do a thing where I at least like stretch before I go to bed, like every night, but like I don't really do that consistently. And it could be the fact that like maybe by the end of the day it's like I'm too tired to even like do like yoga stretches or something. Or like at night I also sometimes just do like I'm gonna play games until I go to bed. So and then once I'm like done with playing a game and I'm tired, I just go straight to bed. So it makes me wonder if maybe I should like do it a later part of the day or like maybe early in the morning or something. But I kind of thinking like of making it like a routine, like at least doing it every day. I'm not sure.
so stretching, and I hear that you're like, I'm not flexible. I think
Yeah.
sometimes like when you go into something and you're like trying to reach your toes and you're thinking, can't do this, I'm not flexible, but you're trying to be more flexible in your life, but you're like, and I'm not flexible. That
Yeah.
maybe there's just such a like a gentle approach to things, that you can like kind of not have to like put so much pressure to touch your toes.
Mm,
And I'm a yoga instructor, right? So
yeah.
I see across the board like all different people with their kind of their relationships with their body and just the pressures they put on to touch their toes and stuff. And it's finding movements that actually feel good. So there's like chair yoga. So like if you were
Oh, okay.
to look like up, just like just Google like 3 chair yoga movements, and you can do them in between like your schoolwork and just do it, and you'll be like, oh my god, I actually just brought some flexibility in. I didn't take much. I'm sitting in the chair, I didn't have to like think that I can't touch my toes. And it really does like open up things for you, and then you can kind of move into like even like doing routines around the house, like when you bend down for things, there's like you can bring in movement into your like just your day. So just be careful of putting pressure. Like you're like, okay, maybe I'll do stretching in the evening time, and then just like avoid the thinking that you have to touch your toes.
Mm, yeah.
Is my only thing. But if just, touching your toes is kind of like that's Jillian, what I want to do is I want to touch my toes. I encourage bands. They work with like physical therapists use them and trainers, and you just hold on to this band and you just don't have to touch your toes at all. Like it just brings a little stretch into your legs. So that's really band works nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so so hearing me say all of that, I don't know if it like is like gives you an idea for or if you're like, no, that's not what I was thinking. What are
Mhm.
you thinking right now with
Yeah. Well, I mean, like hearing all that just made me think of like, oh, there are probably like different like kinds of stretches that I haven't really like, I don't know, like looked at before that like you could just do like as an everyday thing, part of like your everyday movement. And I think I kind of like that idea of like just bringing like stretching to everyday movement just because it just seems like it's part of like naturally in your day. Yeah. But also like it makes me think like I guess for my intention of doing like yoga or stretches is not to like it's not a there's no specific goal in mind for me where it's like I want to be so flexible that I can touch my toes, but it's more just like I want to be flexible just so I can like feel good in stretching and like find stretches that I like to do. So it's like enjoyable and not just something like I gotta do it because I'm not flexible and I'm bad at flexibility is what I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
It's fun. Once you start exploring it, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how my body can do that or how good it feels. And it's kind of, it becomes more of an exploration.
Hmm. Yeah. Because like I mean I do some like standard stretches and when I do them like it makes me feel good. I think it's just part of me being like, well, yeah, I think I like how you said like not to put too much pressure on yourself just to so you can like perform a certain stretch like in a good way because it's all about like just increasing your flexibility. It's not like you can do it overnight.
So I like that. And then would you be able to almost carry on the time management and the me goal with that this week?
Yeah, I think I probably could if like I feel like to make it really efficient, if I found like stretches that I really enjoyed, it would be part of my me time. So,
Absolutely.
so I'd be like hitting two goals in one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe like my goal this week would probably be in terms of like the stretching portion would probably be finding finding stretches that I really enjoy and like implementing them into my day somehow. I'd say probably at least maybe 20 minutes of stretching during the day.
Yeah, I think you could even just like try on a stretch, right? So you like see the stretch, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Let me try it out. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I like this one, or I don't like that one. That is your me time too, the trying things. So
Hmm.
it can be a little bit more open-ended. You don't know what you're gonna like, what you're not gonna like just by reading it. So you actually try it to see.
Yeah.
Be gentle with yourself. Don't push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good goal to find stretches that I like and just trying them out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about?
Mm, I honestly don't know.
Well,
Like,
we definitely, I like this whole the bringing in this other idea of bringing in flexibility
yeah.
and incorporating that into your me time.
Hmm.
I think that's a great goal. So
I
you can
think so too.
explore it and we can talk about it next week. When you think about doing it, do you think of anything that could stop you from doing it?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think if I think if I just don't like make myself go to bed too late, or just like I'm kind of like not being mindful of like my time, or like, yeah, I guess just not being like mindful of my time of like, oh, I could do a quick stretch right now. Like, I think that would probably get in the way, because I'd probably fill it in with something like I'm gonna scroll on my phone for like 5 minutes or something. Or like I'm gonna be like, oh, I have like 30 more minutes until I go to bed. What if I just play games until then? So I think limiting myself with how much time I have with other activities would probably be helpful. If I really wanted to like incorporate like flexibility and stretching in my day, like make it a priority. Yeah, like make it an actual priority in my day would probably be good. Like making a note for myself, or if I forget like my written note, make a phone reminder for myself, because sometimes I have to do it like that too, to double remind myself.
You said there are some standard stretches that you do that you've done.
Yeah, so I feel like I wonder if I know if they're what they're called, but I think one of them is the straddle stretch. And that's the one where I guess I try to touch my toes. And like I can't really like, I don't know, put my legs down too much because it hurts, but I know I'm kind of getting somewhere. Yeah. And then like there's the do that butterfly stretch with my legs. I'm not sure what that other stretch is called, but you like lay down and you like hold your leg, and like you look the opposite way of where you're holding your leg or something. I think it's supposed to stretch your back. Uh, I think I do the one called it's called like the happy baby or something. I mean, there's a lot of like funny names, so I'm just like, I don't know if that's the one, but
Yeah, happy baby. There's like dead bug and happy baby are the same pose. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
happy baby sounds so much better than dead bug. But
yeah,
yeah, no, I think like if you can go in, like I'll see you even like talking about it and like smiling, like the things that bring you joy, the things that like, oh, this is actually fun. Take note of those stretches so that you can bring those into your day because you know touching your toes and stuff can be brought in at some point, but bringing in stuff that you can enjoy too, that's like
hmm,
you look forward to it, making this a priority, but it's something you look forward to.
yeah.
So I think that's a really good goal.
Hmm.
I'm a yoga instructor. No, I think it's a good goal just to open up to different things and that you're, to explore it.
Yeah, I definitely like. I'm like excited to try like new things and like try to get into it, like into more stretches.
What about your sister? Would she do a stretch or two with you?
Yeah, I mean, she also I think practices yoga sometimes. It's just that like sometimes we have usually we have different like work schedules, so she would sleep later than I do. And like she would also come like a little later like from home. But I also feel like that would help in terms of like yoga and stretching, like having a buddy with me. to make it more fun. I mean, I also did like this one thing where I called my boyfriend and was like, "You want to do stretches with me?" And we just like were on the phone with each other and we're like, "So how's your stretching going?" It's like he also like does some stretching. I don't know if he does it quite often though for like his feet because he has a like recently he went to the doctor and like they told him he has like flat feet because he had like a foot problem, like it was hurting. So they recommended like him to like stretch his like stretch your legs and your feet and also like ice them so they don't hurt so much. So I tried to do like a night where I was like, what if we both stretch and that'll motivate the both of us. It was kind of fun, but it's also like he works like really late, so I can't really do that often with him. Because when he come by the time he like comes home from work, it's like I'm going to bed. So
Well, that'll be fun to bring that too. And
yeah, I mean, I
a lot
guess I
of
could
people like
incorporate
to
it.
go into, classes and do it that way to have that group like camaraderie and just kind of the synergy of people and stuff. So, with COVID and stuff, it's a little different, but and finding time to even find a group of people to do yoga with. But once you feel comfortable stretching, it could be something too, is to look into maybe doing a class
Yeah,
with people. There's like gentle yoga out there and beginner yoga, so you don't feel like there's other people that can't touch their toes, that's for sure, and people that, just are new to it.
mhm.
Well, I like these goals for the week, and so why don't we touch base next week and we'll see how it goes. Is there any last minute thoughts that you have?
Oh no, I think that's it.
Your time is up. Never mind.
I was like, no, I think that's an indication of no, I have no thoughts.
No, I think it's great that you are able to explore this, and I look forward to talking to you next week and see if you had any things you want to talk about. And I hope you have a great week.
All right, thanks. You too.